What's up, guys? So we're back with another video today with my good buddy Ethan. And what are we going to be talking about today, Ethan?
Oh, let's talk about price corrections and volatility in nascent markets, because that's what cryptocurrency markets are nascent markets. It means new, kind of innovative, they're unfamiliar, right? Nascent markets have a couple of qualities that make them very volatile. So one, they're thin. That is, there's less liquidity in these markets than, say, the foreign exchange, where trillions of dollars are traded every day. On Bitcoin's market, you might have $1 or $2 billion traded every day, as an example. So these markets move in very shocky ways. So I see things on social media sometimes where you'll have a news headline that says, Bitcoin lost 30% of its value in one day, and it's true, because comparatively to its high of whatever the past 24 hours may have come down quite a lot. This is something that shocks a lot of people, and it shouldn't, because these markets are, by their very nature, extremely volatile. You need to keep that in mind. I think that a lot of people right now, what was it? What's the company? Coinbase. They added something like 40,000 new accounts in one day.
Yeah, one day.
It was absolutely, so many people rushing into the space. Naturally, I think there are a lot of people who are probably unfamiliar with these markets and then get shocked by the movements. Wow, they get like their mind gets blown. And I think a lot of people may lose a lot of money if they're not aware of what's going on and why those price shocks happen. And again, it's down to new markets that are disruptive. And they're very thin, so they move very quickly. Like, actually, a good example, if you're comparing these markets to traditional crypto or to traditional currency markets, you'll find where I mentioned trillions of dollars are traded every day, you'll find that the spread in these markets, the difference between the buy price and the sell price, are fractions of a penny. In fact, on the most popular traded currency pair, the euro-US dollar, the spread is sometimes as low as zero, which means the prices actually match each other, and they're just waiting for people to pick up the orders. So in those markets, you'll see that's incredible liquidity, lots and lots of liquidity to access for traders. In the crypto markets, you will find spreads oftentimes of several dollars between bid and ask prices. So again, these markets are thinner than markets that are much more well established. They're newer, so people are trying to find more and more price discovery. As more and more people enter the market, it becomes more volatile, because more and more people then have a vested financial interest in the price direction going one way or another, and there are people who have a vested interest in prices going down. Those are called short traders. So what I'm trying to explain is that these markets are extremely volatile, and if you're seeing price shocks, you need to keep your wits about you and understand that this is a logical, rational way for this market to act, just because it's so thin.
It's very thin, and not to mention there's only certain key players, such as central exchanges, that kind of control the whole inflow and outflow of crypto itself.
Yeah, we definitely should actually mention manipulation. That's going to be to bring up, because manipulation is something I think we'd all like to deny. Oh, no, these markets are pure and wonderful. No, manipulation.
Honest.
Manipulation absolutely occurs. And again, it's largely because these markets are new, but also because these markets they skirt regulation, I think, in a lot of cases. So as you get these new markets with a lot of new people who don't necessarily understand what's going on, I think those people are easy to take advantage of. If you run a centralized exchange, you have opportunity to manipulate prices, and even in regulated environments, that might be very tempting to decide that, hey, if I can just hide the behavior, I might be able to make an extra million or two. That's a very, very tempting position for somebody who's running a centralized exchange to be in, to manipulate prices, to manipulate their customers, to manipulate liquidity and price feeds. So that behavior, it's sometimes hard to prove and oftentimes impossible, but I think it's very naive to think it doesn't happen. So we need to be aware of that. And also, this is why decentralized exchanges are more and more compelling, is because as you have these centralized administrations, these centralized
they're also a point of failure. Like, if you look at back just 2 weeks ago, and they're still ongoing sometimes, the DDoS attacks.
Sure, exactly. Exchanges can't, they're manipulated, they're exposed to attacks. They can be brought down, right? I think this is a problem with Poloniex is scaling their hardware. Poloniex has these constant problems. Not to say that Poloniex is a terrible exchange or anything, but they run into problems just like any other exchange. Kraken runs into these problems as well. Exchanges run into problems where their hardware isn't necessarily meeting the demand of their customer base, and also not just about demand of their customer base, but are open to attack. People can, like you said, DDoS attack, or that's a distributed denial of service attack. They can try to bring these exchanges down, disrupt the price. And if price is actually moving really fast, attacking an exchange creates market uncertainty if that exchange has a lot of market share. So there are all these risks of centralized exchanges, not necessarily just corruption, but also just, as Amir said, points of failure. This is, again, something we got to keep in mind. All of these things add up to a volatile price market.
Even more reason to not keep your crypto on exchange.
There's that too. Don't keep your crypto on exchanges. That's a bad idea.
Use a good wallet. I use a cold wallet, or use any wallet that has a seed phrase backup and back up your stuff. Yeah,
for sure. Definitely use a wallet that you're going to be able to recover if you, say, brick your phone or burn your computer down in a rage of frustration after Bitcoin lost 30% of its value in one day. That's it. Be safe, be aware, keep your wits about you. These are volatile nascent markets, and you need to keep that in mind. I think it's just really important that people just understand that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. All right, guys, if you have any questions for us, leave a comment below this video. As well, make sure you share this video, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Toodles.